Hello everyone, and welcome to the All Saints Catholic School online sixth form induction. You are now watching session 8, where you are going to learn about effective time management strategies. But before we start, make sure you have everything you need for the session. That includes your induction booklet, a pen, and make sure you are working in a quiet place where you can focus and concentrate. By the end of this session, you will have understood the meaning of procrastination and why time management skills are important, completed an audit of a typical week, learned how to prioritize tasks, and used one tool to organize your time effectively. Okay, let's get started. Imagine that you have £86,400 to spend any way you wish. How would you spend this money? There are only two requirements. You can't bank any money, so you can't put the money in the bank to get some interest back, and you must use all the money. Yeah, otherwise you would lose it. Give yourself a couple of minutes to think about this question. You can stop the video if you want. And if you want to take this further, think about the following questions. Why did you spend the money in that way? And what would make you change your mind? So, where did you spend your money? Did you think you could get yourself a fancy car, maybe? Or a nice holiday abroad? Well, what if I tell you that the amount refers to the number of seconds we have each day? Would you change your mind, knowing that this amount refers to seconds? How would you spend these seconds? Well, the idea of this question is to make you think of where time goes, as it should really go to things that are important to you. You are about to start an amazing 2-year journey where you will meet new people, learn new things, and live exciting experiences. But how are you going to manage your time effectively to ensure you achieve your goals? For example, to ensure you get the results you want, you enjoy different enrichment opportunities, or you develop your hobbies. In the next 2 years, you will be expected to manage your own time, and that means being organized, thinking ahead, planning, controlling your own diary, and setting and working to deadlines independently. You will also have independent time in your day. Some people call this free periods, but your free periods are really study periods, and they are designed for you to take responsibility of your own learning. Managing your time is therefore a skill needed for beyond the sixth form, and the next 2 years will help you become an expert of managing your workload. However, for you to master this skill, you really need to reflect on your last 2 years and how you managed your time in year 10 and in year 11. So you are able to identify patterns and your strengths and weaknesses. Looking back at what you did in year 10 and 11, spend a few minutes to think about the following questions. How often did you find yourself running out of time? What were your time wasters? And most importantly, what do you think you will need to work on the most this year? Because as you know, when you know how to manage your time, you can gain control. Before we start talking about effective ways to organize your time, and before you design your own weekly timetable, you really need to figure out what's currently happening. For that, you can use what we call an audit of a typical week. You can use the following template to record what you do with your time during a typical week. Remember that the template is available in the booklet. You can start this week, today if you want, or if you have great memory, you can record what happened, what you did last week. But if you want my advice, I really recommend you to start fresh next week. So at the end of each day, you can record everything that you did. This includes school tasks, but also family commitments, appointments, and also hobbies. For example, if you go training twice per week, make sure you include it in your timetable. I really recommend you to do the audit, as it is a great way to identify your time wasters and the times where you work at your best. So why don't you give it a go? While you do it, make sure you think of the following questions. Are there particular slots that work best for you? Maybe you find that you concentrate best in the mornings or in the evenings. Are there times where you find very difficult to work or where you sit down to work but you don't get anything done? Think about it. Having good time management skills has plenty of advantages. The first one is that you will be less stressed. If you are able to plan ahead, you will be more likely to meet all your deadlines. You're gonna get more work done as well, because you know your patterns, you know when you work better and when to stop working, so you become more productive. You will have to redo less work, because if you plan ahead, you will be able to do it properly, breaking it down into smaller steps, allocating enough time to complete each of them, and obviously avoiding rushing in the last minute. You will waste less time and have more free time to develop new skills or spend it with your family. And that will lead to more opportunities for you, because if you have more free time, you will be able to attend new clubs, develop other skills, as I was saying, or spend it in the way you prefer. And finally, surprisingly, having better time management skills makes the tasks easier to complete. The weekly timetable, the more you do it, at one point becomes a habit, and you will become a more effective and productive person. However, through this journey, you're going to have a few obstacles, and the main one is procrastination, which is the action of delaying or postponing something. Procrastination is the thief of time. So, what are you going to do to overcome procrastination? You can do the task just for a few minutes. Research proves that once you start a task, your brain remains alert until you finish it. So starting is normally the hardest part of it. Try to complete your hardest tasks first. Did you know that our biological clock ensures that we are more alert in the morning, normally around 10 a.m., and then we suffer a mid-afternoon dip? The harder the task, the more energy and concentration it requires. So make sure you complete your hardest and most difficult and important tasks early. Believe in yourself and in your ability to complete the tasks, and make sure you set yourself short deadlines so you can stay on track and keep yourself motivated. Congratulations, you are making great progress. So far, you understood the meaning of procrastination and why time management skills are important. You completed an audit of a typical week in your life, or you know how to complete it and how important this is prior to doing your weekly timetable. Now we are going to focus on how to prioritize tasks, and we are going to work with one tool to organize your time effectively. Let's have a look. We are going to start talking about how to prioritize tasks by doing a little activity. Give yourself around 10 minutes to complete it. You are going to imagine that you are the leader of the first mission to Mars. You are near the end of your first walk on the surface of this planet. However, you're going to face some problems. How are you going to tackle these problems? In which order and why? These are the problems. You need to rank these 6 problems in order of priority. You are therefore prioritizing. 1 being the most urgent one, and number 6 for the least important one. And while you go, as you go through this task, I want you to think of this question. What are the factors that could make you change your ranking? So, what did you say? Which one was your top priority? Most people pick bullet point number 1 or bullet point number 4 as the top priority. But this can change depending on multiple reasons. For example, let's say that you picked bullet point number 1 as the most important problem that should be handled straight away. How dangerous is the spaceship approaching? How far is it? Because if it is very far, maybe it would be worth it to tackle another problem first. Or do we have any weapons to fight it? So these are considerations and factors that might affect your ranking. And it's exactly the same when you prioritize your tasks. You are going to have similar situations. You will have to do the same this year. You will have to go through stages with high amounts of work to be completed, and your ability to prioritize will be key. This is just an example, but if you have a list of 10 tasks, essays, assignments, deadlines, things to complete, what are you going to do first and when? And why are you ranking the activities or the tasks in that order? You will need to think of when the deadlines are, how much you know about a particular content, if you need to revise more, therefore that task needs more time. It shouldn't be your top priority if it's not that important. So it's really, really important that you know how to prioritize tasks. I am going to show you now a really effective way to prioritize your tasks and to organize everything you have to do prior to completing your weekly timetable. The first thing you have to do is to take a piece of paper and empty your brain. Make a master list of everything you have to do. Gather everything that's on your mind, not only school tasks, but also family requirements, appointments, etc. Clubs or hobbies that you attend on a weekly basis, and things that you have to do. Empty your brain. If you want, you can use the notes section of your booklet. You're going to use highlighters or different color pens to group the different tasks and classify them by priorities. For example, yellow for the least important ones and pink or orange for the most important ones. You can have as many colors as you want. And while you do these tasks, I want you to think of why you're grouping them in that way. Yeah? Why is that task a priority? Is it because you need it to continue understanding the content in a subject? You need to make your notes to be able to revise for a test, for example, that's a priority. Or you need to submit an assignment, it's a priority because the deadline is tomorrow. Don't forget to ask yourself why that task is a priority, because we tend to do tasks that are easy or require less time, or they are not really a priority but we just enjoy doing them. So ensure you keep asking yourself that question. Think of how long each task is going to take you and pick the 3 most important tasks that you want to tackle this week. Now I'm going to show you how to use the weekly planner to specify when you are doing each of your tasks. Give yourself another 7 minutes to complete your list of tasks, and when you are ready, we can move on to allocating each task in or plotted in a section of the timetable. Well, before I show you the real weekly timetable, let me tell you something. Effort is a habit, and students who have the effort habit have also created weekly routines. So increasing your levels of effort can be tricky because obviously it means that you are moving away from a really comfortable and familiar way of working to a less comfortable one. But that is why you must reward yourself, and this weekly plan will allow you to do so. Let's have a look. This is the way it looks like. As you can see, it's exactly the same as the audit that we did before, but now we've got mission and medals. So for 5 of the 7 days, what you have to do is to set yourself a 60-minute mission. It might be to complete homework, to plan ahead, consolidate learning, organize notes, research different universities. If you want to start doing that, fill out an application or begin a revision guide. Complete the mission all at once, if you prefer, or you can do it in parts. And you have to choose times of the day when you work well. Where are these missions coming from? Well, you can have a look at your to-do list, your list that you just did, and you can use those tasks, as your missions, okay? For the same 5 days, you're gonna set aside a medal to be awarded on completion of the mission. It might be a session on your games console, TV program, watching Netflix, watching a football match, or spending some time on social media. Try to vary your medals as much as you can. Don't forget to assign yourself 2 bonus medals. Do you see them? On Wednesday and at the end of Sunday. One is a midweeker to pep you up, and a Sunday nighter to get you feeling good for the week. And these medals should be a little larger than your regular medals. Well, as you can see in this example you've got here, you've been given Friday evening and all Saturday off, completely off. But maybe you may want to adjust this depending on what you do with your time. Feel free to do that. It would be really useful if you have a look at your audit, when you were analyzing your patterns, to see when you are more productive. So if you notice that on Saturday morning you are extremely productive, well, maybe you can spend that time to do some revision instead of, just crossing it off as it is at the minute. Okay, so have a look. You've got this template in the booklet, and use the list of tasks you have to complete, and now plot them wherever you are going to be more productive. Well, as you know, there is a lot of conflict about how long it takes to create a habit, but it takes time to build habits. So keep going and keep yourself motivated. But unless you keep track, you are not going to have any idea of how long it's taking you. So if you really want to be successful with this weekly plan and be able to organize your time a bit better, I really recommend you to create a scoreboard, that will help you stay motivated. So you can have your weekly plan and you can have your list of tasks that you have to complete, but you can also have a calendar and tick off, every single day that you complete your tasks. That will help you keep going, and it will help you stay motivated. Also, there is 2 types of missions. You remember the missions are the tasks that you are going to allocate yourself each day. We've got reactive missions. Those are the ones set by others. For example, when your teacher sets you homework, But you can also set yourself some missions, some targets, because you want to. For example, you could create some flashcards or make some mind maps, or you could purchase a revision guide or do some Seneca learning or some Pixel activities. These are called proactive missions. So when you are completing your timetable for the week, after you have analyzed your patterns and when you are more effective and when you are more productive, make sure you include a mix of rewards, but also a mix of tasks or missions. Great work, congratulations, well done. We have finished with the session now, and hopefully you have a better understanding on how time management skills work, and also how you can use a weekly timetable to organize your tasks. I want to leave you with one final thought. If I were the perfect student, the kind of things I might be doing at this time of the year include, what I want you to do is spend 5 minutes thinking of the sort of things that you should be doing at this point of the year. We don't expect you to be perfect, because obviously no one is, but there might be 2 or 3 things that you could genuinely do in preparation for the following months. Thank you very much for listening. This is now the end of session 5. Please make sure you click on the link we left in the information box in order to complete the knowledge quiz. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your induction day.